I don't know why.
I always feel sad about
do that
me.
on your own. Yeah. I don't know why I got to pile on, but anyway. All right, I'm starting the timer. Let's start the episode.
All right, let's do it.
It is. Do we believe this is episode?
Well, we'll see how it goes, but I think it's going to be.
Okay.
We have a magical guest on that.
A magical guest.
Ooh.
Puff the Magic Roy. Yeah, we're doing the second episode of a night. But what's different about this second episode of the night is that Jim isn't rip-roaring hammered because Jim has a little thing he has to do tomorrow at Fairview Southdale, M-Health Fairview Southdale Imaging. So they want to take pictures of my chest, abdomen, and pelvis.
I have pictures of those.
Perverts. Yeah, well, okay.
I can just send them to them. Send them
yeah,
to
but
them
these
if you like.
these are it's under the clothes, Roy. But what do you got? Anyway, so Ascertainers, episode 30 something, and I'm Jim. I'm one of the co-founders of the Ascertainers. Mark's the actual founder, though. You want to say hi, Mark?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mark.
Well, thank you.
Roy, you want to introduce yourself?
And that's our guest, Roy.
I think you should, Jim.
Okay, Roy is a guy who's lived across the street from me for 24 years or so.
Yeah.
And all-around good guy who happens to be gainfully employed in the broadcast arts industry. And from the time that Mark cooked up this idea of a podcast, we're like, we got to get Roy on. We got to get Roy on because Roy knows what he's doing.
We should have had him on earlier to kind of help us. Guide us on our way.
We are probably past accepting help, but it's good to have him on because he's kind of a broadcast legend in his part of the world. But we want to allow him some anonymity, so we're not going to give anything away. But you want to tell us some of the? You want to say hi, Roy?
I'll say hi, Roy.
There you
Sure.
go. Hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy.
I'll take a hi, Roy, and a slippery nipple for my friend here. Okay. But you do some things. You do a wide variety of work without giving your identity up.
Okay.
Tell us the range of things that you've been paid to do with your voice.
Okay.
My, hang on.
That's very interesting. I've introduced songs on radio waves for a long time, and maybe read some weather forecasts and did some news reports, and some sports reports, and go to sporting events and tell people what's happening on the rink or court or field in front of me. So there you go.
So you call sports. I think that's... Would you say
sportscaster savant?
Well, there's a sportscaster, but there's also a play-by-play / color / both in some cases.
Correct. Well, sometimes I will be solo, so it's a little bit of both, play-by-play and color.
Yeah.
I do prefer doing play-by-play and let the experts in the fields do color more so.
Okay.
Because there's people that know the sports, the ins and outs and the X's and O's in kind of in-depth. And I appreciate that. And they're the ones that are good in that field, and I feel I can paint the picture of what's happening with the players and remember names and numbers.
I was driving and was scanning through the radio, and Roy came up. He was calling a sporting event by himself, and you did such a wonderful job. I was so impressed. I was just like in awe of.
Thank you.
There were people on the field, though, right? I mean, it was not he was just by himself.
No, it was like the Field of Dreams. He was just imagining people out there.
That's kind of sad.
You never know. That might be the case. We make up things once in a while a little bit.
No,
he's
but
like
you
the
did very well.
Radio. He's got the wood block. Yeah, there's a single down the left field line. There's no way they'll catch him. It's like the meatloaf.
He's like a little sandpaper, and he's running through it.
Stop right there. What's that song? Paradise by a Dashboard Light.
Correct.
Music. We do music. Anyway, what is your favorite sport if you had to do color? What's your favorite sport to...
To do color for?
Yes.
Or to do play-by-play for?
Both.
Okay. To do play-by-play, I really like hockey.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
The fastest of them all, yeah.
It is, but it adds a challenge, and I've been fortunate to call some higher level junior hockey over time. High school hockey is a lot of fun as well, and yes, I've kind of accepted that challenge of names and numbers, and the puck moves fast. So play-by-play hockey would be number one, and when it comes to color, I would say baseball, because I've done some coaching in baseball, so I feel I understand the game a little bit to be able to talk color commentary. I don't think I do well at color in basketball or football because I besides in the neighborhood growing up, I didn't really play at a high level or high school level to understand the game. So from the color standpoint, I kind of like when it's someone who really knows the game that's doing the color, and I do the play-by-play.
Were you in running when Dick Bramer retired this year for the Twins?
I did not submit a tape.
Because they would have picked you.
We live in Minnesota. The Twins' longtime play-by-play man.
Correct.
He's already been replaced.
Well, I know it. Radio guy.
Radio guy.
They took the radio guy. Radio
but
guy.
You could have been the radio guy.
I know. Corey Provis is phenomenal. I'm going to miss him not being on the radio.
Well, who's going to be on the radio? Has that been decided?
Chris Atterbury.
Okay.
Is
Never heard of him. But I have heard of Roy and all the Ascertainers Army. Let's get a petition going. Anyway.
There we go. Get those names on there.
I would say that if that's something you wanted to pursue, I bet you would have a lot of support, because I know in your market that you broadcast in, you have won many awards. You've got many accolades, and I've never really heard you live on the air.
How is that possible?
But I could only because
I got this thing called the internet now. You can listen
I
any
just
night.
listen to Rush's first album on repeat. Sometimes 2112, but otherwise, yeah, that's it. Or political radio. But anyway, I would think that baseball would be baseball. You have the most canvas to color, because you have so much dead time.
Oh yes, baseball does offer a challenge in that sense. Correct. So it is. I tell you what, in a funny contrast, and I'll see this once in a while in maybe just a cute social media bit where they show a little play-by-play of hockey. So like hockey has its playoffs going on at the same time as Major League Baseball is starting. So I've seen an amusing little back and forth where there'll be a guy calling a hockey game, and then they flash to someone calling a baseball game, and the pace is hilariously different.
Yes.
And it's with groups that are doing it professionally, so it's not meant to be poking fun. It's just the contrast of it is so different. Baseball does offer a different challenge when it comes to entertaining a listener or viewer.
But watching hockey as you're laying on the beach in the summer is weird. The season is so long, and to have the Stanley Cup, what is it? It's June,
It goes
isn't
into
it?
May for sure, but depending on how the series go, but yeah, it can go into June.
Right.
Same with basketball, goes into July.
Right. It's just the seasons have gotten too long.
Luckily,
They are
luckily
long.
the football playoffs only go until December. Hey, oh, that's right. If you root for the Minnesota Vikings, you're lucky if you make it to December. But I love listening to hockey announcers, and I forget the name of the guy that just retired. Doc Emrick or something like that.
Emrick.
That guy was an absolute pleasure to listen to. You didn't have to. You can have your eyes shut, and just he was like a poet. He just had the greatest, use of the English language. He talked good, but it was a pleasure to hear him work. Sad to see him retire, but well-earned retirement. I hope he's having a blast.
Yeah, he would have so many different ways to describe the same thing.
Yeah,
is what it was so cool about
he
him.
He ladles it into the corner. He's met with my favorite though, all time, is when you hear an announcer, especially the lower the level of hockey, the better, when the goalies fight. Because it's like the guy just saw a damn leprechaun, It's like, oh, and he's giving him the business. He's pulling the jersey over. Goalie fight! They just sort of what do you call that? Where you put that above. God dang it! There's a word for it.
Not sure what you're trying to
It'll come
describe.
to me where you overlay something. If you overlay that over, here's the pitch.
Oh,
Ball. You know,
compared to goalie fight.
You said compared to, maybe that was the word.
I know what you're saying. Overlay, I think, is a good way to phrase that.
I think it's a way to phrase that. Come on, fucking use English language, right, dude?
Man.
All right.
He is our guest.
I know, and I also
Keep it coming.
he also did fine. I was just fucking messing with him. So, yeah.
No,
So,
he
Roy,
did goodly.
Goodly, Roy. Interesting that we don't talk politics here, but I think it's fun that you and your wife are not in lockstep on that kind of thing.
Don't they say opposites attract?
Is that what's
They
going
do.
on?
I
Well,
think.
girls and boys, yeah.
Okay, that works.
And apparently David Lee Roth and everybody. Is that what I just learned in the last episode?
Well, you open it up to a larger population.
I think if I was David Lee Roth, you know I love you. So
No, you don't.
don't. Anyway, if I was having a slow streak with the ladies and I was him, I'm gonna go, yeah, bisexual. That way, at least takes a little of the heat off of me not getting with the ladies. So I'm not sure.
Are you trying to tell us something?
Considering it? You haven't seen Chris in a while, have you? Yeah, she stayed in New York. Oh yeah, she didn't. She came back with me.
No.
Yeah.
I did see her right after she got back, actually.
Oh, Mark gave us. Oh, I owe Mark so majorly or massively. We went to New York for, I guess it would have been Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days of parking at the airport.
Ooh.
I decided that I would ask Mark. Actually, it was Chris's idea. I'm like, too much to ask a guy who's retired to give us a ride to the airport where you retired from.
Plus, I like
drive
Chris
back
It was
better.
like flashbacks. He's like,
He's going to drive in the wrong entrance, the employee entrance.
Well, we went to the different terminal, so
Whoops.
that threw me off.
yeah,
And
'cause
I
we flew
screwed that
Southwest.
up.
We flew Southwest, the bus of the sky. I got no problem with Southwest. 2 free bags each,
Ooh.
checked bags.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm not talking about Chris anyway. Hey ho. And they board funny. Other than that, it was fine.
So we're going to the airport. I don't go to that terminal very often, if ever.
You're familiar? Southwest flies out of Terminal 2, the Humphrey Terminal.
I am.
You
yes.
drive by the
Yes.
Fort Snelling. Holy
Yeah.
crud, is that a lot of gravestones? My word.
So we're doing that. He's talking about Fort Snelling.
Oh, you missed it.
And I missed the turn because I go, yeah, my spot's right over there.
In Fort Snelling?
Yes. A military, you get a free burial at Fort Snelling.
Okay.
And your spouse also.
Well, my spouse?
Yeah. Roy's wife is going to be
She's going to
say-
be married next to Mark. Buried next to Mark. Interesting.
Freudian slip.
totally. How did I get into some of that?
Well, I get the pick, so flash me some money and I'll...
Okay, David Lee. I'm good. I'm donating my body to science.
But I missed the
That's a fact.
turn, and both Jim and Chris laughed at me.
Wow. Had they
Again.
told you before where you were going, though?
No, I knew where we were
Oh.
going,
I
but
think it was just a roundabout. You took the wrong. You didn't zig when you should have zagged, right?
yeah, it was just I took the left, a second left that I should have taken the right left.
Did you say
Right,
tooken?
Right, left,
I would-
right, left, right, left, right.
No, the word tooken.
Did I say tooken?
I
Like
feel
you did.
like
Like you
said-
might have.
I think
you
it's
might
been
have.
said about 9 times now.
Roy, you know you're a guest. You shouldn't point out my mistake.
Well, you asked a question.
Oh, you know what? My whole brain just got rewired. I had something I was going to say, but then Mark said a word that isn't a word, and that wasn't good. I wasn't going to say anything about donating my body to science, so I don't got to pay to be buried, even though that's cool yet morbid and depressing. My dad did that. It was the best thing ever. But I will say this: from the time that In his case, he just died a regular, he wasn't like, they didn't find him 5 days later or, stuck to the side of a mountain from a hang gliding accident or something like that. But from the time they pick up and I'm trying to I don't want to sound disrespectful at all, obviously, big fan of my dad, but also big fan of his decision to do what he did. My mom's doing the same thing, but the funeral home comes and then it's going to Mayo. They live in Rochester, so Mayo, I forget what they call it, but it's a Mayo Medical that, it allows like aspiring doctors to learn anatomy and crud like that. But you do get a phone call a couple hours later. It's like, oh, hi, this is so-and-so from the Mayo program, and we've accepted your donation. It's like,
wow.
Oh, shit. What's plan B, man? Otherwise, what happens? We're going to drop them off right in the, I don't know. So luckily, I better start taking care of myself. So when I die, they don't get
accept
rejected.
you.
Right.
That would be a pretty rude rejection. No.
You think?
Just don't need this.
I don't want people laughing at me after I'm dead, I guess.
Oh,
That's
they were
what I
laughing
won't
at you
do.
before, Mark.
I know it, but afterwards it's just like another kick
it's cold
in the
in
head.
there, Mark. Everyone is.
It's not that cold.
It's like, well, it must be laying on it. Nope. Was there like a donor? Was there someone that needed one, and they, I'm doing a thing, a karate chop with my hand. In the movie Go, have you seen the movie Go?
I don't know that movie.
You should know that movie and should see it. A guy is peeing out of a van window, and the guy slams on the brakes, and the window.
Oh my!
And
Ow!
Lops his thing off. Well, it's the movies.
I don't want to
Quite
see
a
that.
movie.
They can do stuff with that, but then they're looking for it. It's funny. It's one of the funniest de-dickings you're ever gonna see. Radio game.
That's like the game Go. Have you ever tried to play that?
The game Go.
The
game
Japanese?
You sure it's not Monopoly?
No, the black and white.
Hey, buddy, we don't do that here.
Look up Game Go.
Okay, not familiar with
It's
Go.
very
Sure,
difficult.
I will.
All right.
Right before the donation people come to pick me up. All right. Radio game. If you don't know what it is, listen to the first 36 episodes. You'll get a pretty good flavor for it. I'm going to tell you my first 4. Everyone's going to do the first 4, and then we're going to come back around the horn and do our new 2. So I had April Wine, R.I.P. Miles Goodwin, who died this week, which sucks. But he was 75. I'd take 75. That's a good time to cack. Probably left a good-looking...
Well, let's see. I got a couple of years. Yeah, that's fine.
corpse. Well, yeah, you better hurry up and start dying, buddy. You're getting there. April Wine, Loverboy, Uriah Heep, and Jethro Tull. Roy.
All right, I've got Dire Straits, Def Leppard, Journey, and the mega band The Hooters.
Hooters, nice.
The Hooters.
Mac.
I had the Beatles, the Doors, Strawberry Alarm Clock. I know you guys were all itching for that. And Iron Butterfly.
All bands that refused to play Woodstock.
Yeah, declined. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, all 4 of mine did too. My new bands. Roy, what are your new bands?
Well, first of all, I'm going to ask on a technicality, can I take Paul McCartney or not?
You get Paul McCartney and the Beatles and Wings.
What do you mean? He has the Beatles. Don't you have the Beatles?
I do.
I do. I'm asking on the technicality, the fine print of this game, can I take Paul McCartney?
You can have Paul McCartney and everything
And
but
Wings.
the Beatles.
Okay. All right, so I'll take...
Wow.
Well-
Well, don't I get the Beatles? Don't I get Paul McCartney and Wings?
No, you did it the wrong way. See,
the
remember
Beatles.
last week? Remember
don't.
last week I said I'll take Genesis, and then I said, oh, also I'll take Phil Collins, and guest Jeff said, I don't think it works that way. I think you would take like Stevie Nicks, and then you would get all the Fleetwood Mac and her solo shit and everything else. If you take Genesis, you can't go up the stream.
You know, that's what I was...
It's because you picked the Amboy Dukes, isn't it?
Well, that was my
Let's
point.
finish this.
That I said I was only going to do 2 bands, the Amboy Dukes and the James Gang.
So you did 1.5 bands.
But that gave me both legacy and off the beaten path.
Okay, I think
well,
that
in that case, I will.
I think that you could keep.
I will.
I don't think that if you take the Beatles, you get
Paul McCartney
all
back.
John Lennon songs, all Ringo Starr songs, all George Harrison songs, and all. Fuck
You
that.
came up with that at the beginning.
No, I think you would get.
We're going to come to fisticuffs here.
No, here's how I think.
I can call the play-by-play.
Let's do this.
Fight.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, and Jim got winded standing up. He's out. He's so.
You know what? I can turn his mic off, so I can win
you are
this
in
argument.
Control. Well,
No.
I will
Play
allow
game?
that rule to be maybe picked over later. I can not do that.
No, you get
I
Paul
get
McCartney.
I get Paul. Yes.
But only his solo work until
solo.
we work this out. Unless you want to pick an alternate, because you came in, you pre-qualified, and if you want to change your thing, you certainly can. I would.
What do you mean you would? Paul McCartney's not a bad pick.
It's not a bad pick, but
It's
not,
an awesome pick, but
it's not as good as you thought it was.
Right. Well, I wasn't trying to sneak into the Beatles. I was just trying to be a little controversial.
so
like it.
Roy, yeah, that is what it is. You were trying to start trouble.
That's
love
right.
it.
That's right.
That's right. He wants this episode to be fun.
And my other band will be. There's only one song that would possibly be played, but I'll go with Europe.
I'm a huge Europe fan. You ever see the movie Hot Rod?
I knew he was going to
I don't know that movie either. Hot Rod?
But yet you like Europe.
They're one song.
You'll hear all four of their songs on Hot Rod. Oh my God!
Who said your kid? But I will get rid
No,
of
I'm
it.
fine with mine, not his.
No, they'll be all right.
All right, this is correctable. I just was so excited that you finally got his name right because fuck. This whole block will get chopped out because I called her Christina for so long. Leave that in. Anyway, that's not the right name. Okay.
Anywho.
Okay, I'm gonna go with for my new ones. I'm gonna go with Triumph and Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
Ever heard of him?
Good one. That's really good.
All right.
I'm going to do Hall and Oates again because you were correct. Oates is trying to sell his portion of the music rights, and Hall is going, that's 50% mine. You can't do that without my permission.
Well, I messed it up on 2 episodes ago when I was like, I made it sound like Oates should have the beef. No, Oates is just lucky to be there.
I knew what you meant, or I meant what
I
you
think they
knew.
should have made it like a breakfast food. Hall and Oates.
Many parts are edible. And I'll go with Three Dog Night. We didn't get a winner. And I'll have
No
to-
winner, but it's one that I've picked 2 times.
What do we got?
Crazy on You. Heart.
He's a
Everybody.
big Heart fan.
I think Heart is an underrated band. What do you
Wait.
think of Heart?
Well, I really enjoy Heart, and I was surprised when you talked about Heart in a previous episode of being underrated, because I grew up and my older brother was a huge Heart fan, is a huge Heart fan. So from the time I was little, we would hear Heart records played, and I never thought of them as underrated because in my mind early on it was kind of drilled into my mind that
Right.
this is a good band. And so I was surprised that they came up as an underrated band because I already consider Heart to be very significant.
That's completely valid and all that. What I'm saying is that among like people that say, "Oh, here's my top 5 bands," Heart's never in the top 5.
Okay, and that's interesting. And I guess my problem is that I rarely listen to or care what other people think about
Fucking A.
certain bands or music.
That's
or
why we got him on.
movies.
What do you think of Mark? What do you think
I've
of Mark?
noticed
Mark
that,
doesn't
yeah.
think much of you. What do you think of Mark? Oh,
That
I'm kidding.
was,
I don't care what I think about Mark.
He's
Oh
told
my
me
God,
that
he
many
just went
times.
Next level. He just broke the 4th wall of Mark.
So
He's a
bringing
Marxist.
that
Huh?
I'm a Marxist.
up, how many siblings did you have?
I have 3 siblings: an older brother, older sister, and younger brother.
So you're a middle guy. You're like Mark. How many did you have? You had 5 and you're the second youngest?
Correct.
Okay. I'm the youngest of 3. Thanks for asking.
All right, you're the
Are
big
they-
I'm sure somebody would have.
In Minnesota?
One lives in Minnesota, one lives in Colorado, and one in California.
Oh,
We
so
are-
you vacation to Colorado to visit that relative
Yes.
or your sibling?
Yes, sibling and offspring, if we have to be vague. Although, I guess,
Yes.
yeah, we live in Colorado
where
as
does
well.
Where does that said offspring live, and what does he do out there?
He lives in Boulder and is into computers. Stuff that I don't understand. So, computer, the software part of it, computer programming
And
stuff.
he's had some kind of post-secondary education. He graduated college or go to like a
He did.
computer school.
Yep, he filled out all the forms on the back of the cereal box and got his degree.
He draw that little dog there.
University of Minnesota.
Really?
Yep,
Nice.
for my son.
Yeah.
Yep.
You both so both of yours went to the U?
My daughter started at Eau Claire
Okay.
and then did other stuff at the U.
Okay. Other stuff. Nice
stuff.
understatement.
Yep.
Mark has a college graduate and I think one that has a few years of eligibility left. I have technically my oldest, junior college or a tech school.
Okay.
Like a 2-year degree that took him 4 years to get. Long story short, we don't got to go into that. But he does extremely well for himself. And I have a youngest that also has college eligibility remaining. But we made a deal. When he didn't want to finish high school, I said, if you finish high school, I will never ask you to go another day of school. And I kept my promise. And he is thriving and doing his thing. Just bought a house. I mean, the hell. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he bought a house younger than I did when I got my first house. So good for him. Works his ass off.
Yeah. I hear more and more about kids getting out of high school that are doing things other than going to college.
Right.
Yep. I also have some years of college eligibility left for that record as
Is
well.
that right?
Oh yeah.
I got
College
through.
dropout.
I got through 4 in about 4.5.
Okay.
So, including 13th and 14th grade, also known as high school with ashtrays. That would be Rochester Community College. Shout out Yellow Jackets. What up? We have some Rochester listeners, by the way, and if you're out there listening, I bet you also miss Waldo's Pizza and Dooley's and Bilatti's and Wong's and God dang it, I'm old.
Where'd
and
they all go?
I'm old and apparently not in shape. Because
Did you do a like associations in radio?
I did a year at the University of Minnesota and then went the Brown Institute
Was there-
route.
Did you complete Brown?
Yes,
I mean, there's a lot of that's a legitimate broadcasting school.
absolutely.
But it's also cost a lot of money or no back then?
It wasn't outrageous, but
Oh, was it? Okay. I mean,
it
I'm
wasn't
not
outrageous,
looking for
but-
numbers. or
yeah,
anything
no,
like that.
that's fine. I figured it makes sense to
But tell us.
not numbers.
Yeah, but
I don't know, something with a couple of zeros here or there on one
Couple
side of the
zeros,
decimal
there's a-
point or the other.
There's no commas, but there is a semicolon, that's really fucking expensive. You get up like that.
But there may have been some loans involved for a little bit, but they're almost paid off now after 30 years.
Yeah,
No, I'm
but
kidding.
I mean, does the
You know, listening to other radio personalities that they said they went to like Brown and other places, but they said, you know, we shouldn't have done that. You can get into radio and be really good at it, like someone like you who's a natural.
Well,
do you think you needed that?
I would say that needed that push because I had the interest in it, but I would not have considered myself a go-getter. And by going to Brown, it was almost like a first job because I would not disagree with those people that say you really don't need that. You can just go do it and you know, progress through a career like that. But I think Brown was kind of a push for me to
And
show
you
I
Gave you
could
the
do it.
confidence?
A confidence thing, yes. Yeah.
But you also learned both sides of the mic, yes? I mean,
Oh, I learned things absolutely, but I think most of those things could have also been learned on the job because Brown felt like, when you look back on it, which at this point it's a long, long time ago, but years ago when I look back on it, I felt like, you know, that was almost like a first job, even though I also did some radio in high school. So I already had a little bit of a taste of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But still, that Brown Institute was almost like a first
How the
job
fuck
kind of
did
thing.
we get this guy on our podcast?
I don't know.
What's this going to cost? We bought him dinner, but he got, oh, speaking of dinner,
Man, I got one
just
of
going to
these.
do a couple spotted cows, yeah. I'm going to just throw in a real quick, because it's kind of forced, a Newt's promo. We went to Newt's for dinner. We love Newt's. The Ascertainers are, they're an OG sponsor. They're our original sponsor. We were told to not, by previous guests, not divulge what that sponsorship entails, but I always like to throw it in because I think it's kind of funny. They're not really, they're not like sponsoring a NASCAR or anything like that by doing the Ascertainers. It's costing them a couple beers every time we go in there, and we are totally on board with that because we like Newt's. We were talking about them for free anyway. Go to Newt's in Apple Valley, Minnesota when you get a chance. Mark didn't interrupt me. Are you feeling all right?
I'm okay. But we do have the sticker, like NASCAR, on the table. Newt's.
Yeah, look at it. Oh, it's glorious.
It is glorious.
You mean
All
I
right.
didn't have to tattoo it to my arm like Jim said?
Oh, sorry about that.
That was a joke. Sorry.
Yeah, sheesh. That'll go away after a few.
Just rub it a while.
Take a
It's
shower.
Pass it on there.
You go, oh, I just listened to another song, and did anyone guess the Who?
Hooters.
Who?
Is that close enough?
Winner.
Oh,
Yes.
darn it.
Hooter the hell are you? I think is the name of that song.
I heard Pinball Wizard today. That's a good one.
You are listening to a lot of radio. So, by the way, before we go into our topic, which we talked was going to be music videos, 80s music videos, I'm a huge advocate for people that look at the 4-year option and say, you know what, I don't really want to do that. Because really, when you look at the 2-year school, they cut out a lot of the electives that aren't necessarily going to help make you a better accountant or whatever. And big fan of the trades. Mm-hmm. We need them. A couple people that live nearby have bypassed college and gone into the trades, and they don't owe any money, and they like what they do, and they work their butts off, and they have they've got nice little situations for themselves. So. We take all kinds here. You want to go to college? Go to college. But if you don't want to go to college, don't go to college because you're probably going to wind up with a shitload of debt and not finish and be miserable. So,
Kind of be wasting your money and wasting your time if it just isn't for you. Right?
Perfect.
There you go.
you better call Brown and tell them you got their new jingle. Is Brown still a thing or no? Or is it called something else now, like ITI or?
Yeah, that's a great point. A few years ago, it was still a thing. It had moved, but it was still a thing. But it's been a few years since I've had it's come up in any way, shape, or form. So I honestly don't know. I would think it still is, but may or may not have kind of a different name or different angle, or probably more offerings than just the 2 or 3 they had when I went. I think they offered a culinary school.
Once
In addition,
Roy
when I-
graduated, they had to shut it down because
There's no point.
they're not going to do any better than that.
Probably. That's why my mom stopped having kids. Looks like your mom didn't have the same feeling there, pal, or yours. Anyway, all right. Well, enough about Jim being awesome.
So we're going to get into music now.
Okay.
After 35 minutes of rambling.
Last episode, we went into it. We really should just do like batting practice episodes because, you know what, the second one always seems to be a little more better. Mo better.
More better.
But I will say that last time we did 80s, what do you call it? 80s
Just
bands.
music? Yeah.
And this time we decided we would do 80s music videos because then it could be a band from any era, but the video had to come out in the 80s. Also, hopefully by now somebody has won the t-shirt that hasn't been made yet for answering the AM call signal or frequency. Thank you, Roy. And the Brown Institute for KQRS, KQ92 and blank, 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 blank AM.
Was that a whole class on calling it a frequency?
Yeah, probably so. At least a week, if not a whole
There's
class.
probably one
yeah.
sheet of paper. See that? That's what that is.
That's the
Okay,
word.
next we're going to move on to how you get chicks and free concert tickets.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
free concert tickets. That was that one of the good calling cards.
Who has an 80s music video that they want to bring up, and we can decide to elaborate on it or not? I'm
Radio?
happy to start, but I've been talking the whole time. So.
How about Thriller?
Oh, yes, that's...
How about the number one video of all time, Thriller?
Shouldn't we just start there?
What's your favorite part of Thriller? Do you have a favorite part or the whole thing?
No, that's
I have a specific part.
specific part. I guess. Wow.
I'll do
just the whole zombie part of it. I guess
the
is cool.
the thing where they do the dance where they throw their hands up, kind of, sort of. You know,
Jim
and,
is doing the movement.
Yes, it's not good for radio. Did they teach you this at Brown Institute? Because I think that was in the 80s.
Don't use hand gestures.
What is it they do? There's a thing. It's like they kind of hook their hands a little and.
Just kind of a break dance
Kinda-
almost. or
Like
what?
a
No,
paw.
no, it's they just
like an animal paw going
Yeah,
down.
yeah. they go one way and then they go. It's like that. You know what I'm
He
talking
did it
about.
again, but
But I did my teeth like I was a wolf when I did that time.
you know, Roy, you can't open up with and just shut us down with your.
Yeah, I'll throw one in there, and this one will be easy, because it'll be like, "What's your favorite part?" We know. Hot for Teacher, Van Halen.
I never really.
Nothing.
I liked that video, but I didn't like the song.
It's about 80s videos, you dude.
Jim is shaking his head.
Could you hear
Looking at
that?
me like-
It's Hot for Teacher. It's the teacher walking on the desks with their cool pumps and shoes. Those are shoes, everybody. And pumps. So, yeah. I mean, you guys aren't really on the same gutter mentality as I am, because I have ZZ Top legs.
Ah,
Hello.
Well, you're going with a
Well, let's
theme.
hear one of Mark's. Mark's is going to be like Billy Joel Piano Man or something like that.
Radio killed the video star.
Oh, come on. That's the first video ever played on MTV.
That's why I picked it.
Yeah. And you were what?
It's
You
a
were about-
terrible song.
You were about
It's a
30.
terrible video.
As a 35-year-old seeing your first video, what did you think of that? No?
No.
Is it the Buggles or the Ruddles?
Or-
The Ruddles was Monty Python.
Are you talking about the Sid
band?
and Marty
No, that's the
Krofft?
Bugaloos, dude.
Bungalows? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was the Buggles that did Video Kill the Radio Star. Great topic, huh, guys? Huh,
Way to
America?
go.
Roy, what else? You got something else on the 80s videos? You went Thriller. I can tell you what your next one's going to be. You want me to?
yes. I want you to try and tell me.
It's one of two songs by Guns N' Roses.
Nope.
Am I right? Oh,
Nope.
okay, go. What
I
is
was
it?
going to go Aha,
Oh, very good.
kind of a
Take on Me? Is that what it's called?
Take on Me, and then that song came back to life here in the last few years in a major way.
I think
didn't
it's been redone a few times.
Okay.
I
It
think
just-
that's the
And
the
it's in
dealio.
a lot of animation. I know the Family Guy does it, and
Does
I
the
thought this
style of animation or uses the song as well?
uses a song and the people coming out of the grocery store.
Okay.
He kind of parodies it,
Refrigerator.
people banging into shit, right? I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
I think The Simpsons does a parody of it also.
Well, that's not a parody song. God dang it.
Not a parody, but make fun of that.
An homage, a satirical look. Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
Good video.
Yeah.
This is a good time to be a young man, because there were some interesting looks on these videos that on the TV that's about the size of this notepad that we watched in college, and guys are like bumping their ears next to each because to get closer to the TV.
yeah.
I wonder
There,
if that
just
came across.
a lot of bouncing in that.
There was, yes, there was a festive song in that regard.
And they were great musicians.
They added a lot, harmonies, something like that, rhythm. What do you got, Mark?
I'll go with
Grateful Dead?
Money for Nothing.
Oh, he did with Dire Straits for his band. That was a
He
good
did.
video. Although
I didn't like that song, but
I think that the lyrics have had to be edited because there were some very cancelable lyrics in the
there were.
original.
Yes.
But
Correct.
it's somehow I get surprised that they could play that. And there's another song that Highway to Hell sounds like they're saying a very big slur, but it's not. I looked at the lyrics and it's like, ooh, it sure sounds like he's saying something else.
A lot of times I don't hear what they're saying. Like Eminence Front.
Who?
Yes.
Nice.
Excellent.
Broadcast professional guest Roy, just running circles around our sorry asses.
But I always thought that was Living is effed when I heard that song.
Living is fuck.
Yeah.
Mark can't swear. He doesn't eat meat or swear. Although you swore once. It was hilarious because you could.
But if you listen to that song, they kind of just run it together, and it always.
I'm gonna tell you one more, even lame and embarrassing. I thought he said Eminence font, like font, like Times New Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
The
The
Who.
song Eminence Front is by The Who, and when you said Who, you knew you did that, right? You bastard. I love you.
Are you making fun of us again?
No, I will confess I don't know. I didn't know that song.
Well, then you got
So
you just snagged a trophy fish
Yeah,
with that one. That was
That's
good
true.
stuff.
Got lucky. No.
All right, time is running short. I'll tell you right now, Sweet Child of Mine and November Rain. I'll take the combo entry by Guns N' Roses. Those were fine videos. In the 80s, Guns N' Roses closed out the decade, but coming into the decade, which obviously there wasn't anything in 1980, or that's about when it came out, but ZZ Top made a conscious decision to hire a movie director to make their pretty average songs by then into little mini movies. So they really upped. We can thank ZZ Top for elevating the game for others to follow there.
Thank you, Dusty. Thank you, Mr. Beard.
R.I.P. Dusty.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Too
Billy.
soon?
Not at all.
Billy Gibbons?
Billy Givens.
Is it Gibbons, or I thought it was Gibbons?
No, that's a monkey. Fuck. Now I gotta look it up. Anyway, well,
No, that's Mickey Dolenz. Sorry.
Billy Gibbons wasn't in the Monkees. No, but a gibbon is a long-armed primate. Okay, some other thing.
The show goes to different stratospheres.
We are.
I am.
I gotta look up. I gotta look up the
Are
name
you
of the.
feeling sorry you even came over tonight?
Yeah, this we gotta do a third one.
37 minutes of my life I can't get back. Right?
Oh shit! It is Gibbons.
I thought so.
Holy crap!
So he is a monkey.
Look at him. He's all hairy. He looks like an orangutan.
Do you have a third?
Do I have a third? I guess Lionel Richie's.
Oh, walking on the ceiling?
Which one? No,
No.
the blind one.
What?
When he's blind, the chick's blind.
I do the what? No, the walking on the ceiling one. That the all night party all night. What's the song?
All night long.
Yeah, all night long. So I mean, when as far as another video of the era,
Okay, so
is there
the question to ask Roy at this point is: have you seen 4 videos? Because I'm assuming you've only seen those 3. The one, hello, is it you were looking for? He's got some blind chick, and he's like kind of messing with her. She's walking around, and then they, kiss at the end. I mean, come on, man.
Okay,
Perfect love
well,
song.
the 80s, watching videos in the 80s is a few years ago, so I've
Oh, that's right. You were probably
some
still
of
at junior high when that happened. You're younger than us.
junior high school. In the
Uh-huh.
80s, yeah. So, no, I remember that now, but
I thought walking on the ceiling all night long is different from walking on the ceiling, right? Or is that the same?
No, it's the same song, but it's 2 different songs. Like if you played them next to each other, you would go, yeah, same fucking thing. Yeah, one of them, Oates is the singer, and the other one, Hall is the singer.
I'm going to sue
So
you.
to be dancing on the ceiling, and then all night long.
those are 2 different songs.
But which is better? Is there even an argument?
The video of dancing on the ceiling is better than all night long.
Okay, as a song, which is better? Because you're wrong. All Night Long is a better song than Dancing on the Ceiling. Oh, what a feeling. Steve Miller could have wrote that one. Oh, what a feeling to be
He
dancing on the
hates Steve
ceiling.
Miller because, which everybody rhymes
I like
poorly.
cherry pie filling. Oh, I caught a fish by its gilling. Oh, I hate to end it by calling Steve Miller a hack songwriter. Call me, Steve. Let's talk about it. I'm at 867-5309. I can't do better than that. Gotta go.
Roy, thank you again.
Yeah.
You've been wonderful.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Wonderful
It's been enlightening.
Wonderful is a nice start. Roy is a rock star, and we don't deserve him, and we really appreciate you slumming it with the Ascertainers.
No. You guys have embarked on a very ambitious, to be continuing to do it after 30 plus episodes of just kind of having fun and that kind of
failure.
thing. You guys tip of the cap.
All
Well,
right.
thank you.
Well, hey, thanks for listening and being a fan, as far as we know. And yeah, we hope to have you on again. So thank you.
Thank you.